welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight, Boise State picks it up with a little bit of Valorant action and likes to continue to their journey in the Conference 1, taking on Cal. I am your host, Jared Barreto-Casiglione, joined by Tim Voiceless. It's been a while, man. How you been?
It has been a hot minute. I am glad to be back here to cast some Valorant with my good boy Barreto.
I mean, this is the dynamic duo here.
Right here.
Now,
this is
you've
what you come to
been
see.
gone for a little bit, so we got a little bit of mix-up. I got a question for you. We have seen a little bit of a roster change for the Boise State boys here.
We have.
Going to be subbing in J-Bag and Jabald onto the main roster. And I want to ask you, when you sub in or make roster changes, what does that afford a team in general?
Well, in the long term, that affords you a lot of dynamic shift up. You can change the way that your team approaches the game. If you're, maybe like Boise State have been a little bit in the past, you're maybe a little bit aggressive, that offers you a little more opportunity to be defensive later on. You can change the way that your team functions in the long term. But in the short term, what that changes up for you is that's going to mean some adjustment period, because Valorant's a very fast-paced game. A lot of what happens is not something you can communicate out as it's happening, because it's so split second. You need to be able to trust that your teammates are watching the angles that you think they're watching. So in the short term, if your teammates aren't on the same page as you because they're new subs, that can cause bumps in the road.
Yeah, and that's maybe just the growing pains of roster changes in general, but it is kind of widespreadly more known that it will benefit in the long run, because at that point, with continued play, with scrimming, with VOD review, you start picking up the habits, the strengths, the weaknesses of your new teammates, and you can really start picking up and filling up those holes. So we'll have to see if we are still going to continue to see those kind of growing pains. This roster is, again, very fresh, so we do anticipate a little bit of that. But, again, these Boise State, all the players here at the Boise State Esports program have that kind of dedication to adapt and overcome. You learn in your biggest strides of defeat, and from that point forward, you kind of put your best foot and, start pulling up some pretty big dubs.
Yeah, it is going to be exciting to see how this roster adjusts with the new players they have brought on board. I, for one, so excited to be back in the chair to cast some Valorant action.
You got the comfy one this time,
I
man.
do. It's different being over here. I'm not mad at it, though. It's not bad. It's also great to see so many people out here in the studio with us.
Yeah, it is really cool. Unbeknownst to me until, I think just 5 minutes ago when I asked you, I was like, why are there people here? Oh, we're doing stuff with the YMCA now, which is awesome because, you gotta get training those fingers, those digits young.
Get them started young, they'll get hooked. It's great for you.
I just gotta see if there's anyone that likes to play Yoru, and then it'll be my protege.
We have seen a little bit of a rise in Yoru play at the upper echelons, so it will be interesting to see if that's something maybe a couple of the new players will favor it. Has seen some rise, especially with some of the buffs he's gotten, changes to some of his abilities.
Thank goodness.
He needed it, yeah.
He needs some help. He definitely needs some help, and we will look at the docs keys of the game. Maybe the patch notes aren't going to be the key for success, but instead docs keys of the game will be in Valorant. It will be focus, angles, and flank. Know your win condition, of course. Count cards, call abilities, and this one's funny. Click heads. Hey, if you just stop them from existing, then you win.
Just click on heads.
Exactly.
It's not that hard.
Dropping Gaming is going to be the ones to, of course, bring you these docs keys of the game. Dropping Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. And whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. Of course, after you watch this.
Obviously.
Or maybe in the other monitor, I don't know.
If you got dual monitors, you're allowed to do that now. Otherwise, you got to keep it right here.
Yeah.
This is where the action's at.
Yeah, speaking of kind of going back to the first question, with Boise State's roster being very fresh, this Cal team, I've never heard of them. Cal? Never. I'm sorry. I mean, I would assume it relates to California in some sense.
It's one guy named Cal.
It's just one dude named Cal versus an entire roster of 5 Boise State members.
No, it will be. It's going to be a fun match to see tonight. This is week 4, I believe, of the Conference 1. We have missed the first few here from Boise State just due to scheduling things like that. So it will be interesting to see. This is the first time we've gotten to see our new roster in this Conference 1 lineup.
Icebox too, first map, and looks like things are about to be real explosive, real fast. Of course, we can see the mini map and see all the players on it, but no one else is the wiser. Wall coming up, spike going down. Dropping the screen.
Spike planted.
Maybe looking for an opportunity to go for these clicks from Rafters. Recon dart. Oh, it's going to be the shock dart instead. There comes the recon now. Tags out a few members. Shock dart for the bounce. Maybe use this wall to their great advantage. Nice idea to check the underside there from Raptors. And they go for the full defuse. Can they defend this, though?
They've taken a lot of
Shots
space.
to the classics are going to pop off, but trades will go left and right. Boise State getting a 2-0 lead, and they'll actually get the defuse. And it's just flavor on top. Boise State striking first blood in this Ice Bug match.
That was really beautiful retake from Boise State. You can see the way that they secured that space. They use the screen that comes out. They use all the utility at their disposal to segregate the enemy players from where the diffuse is, and between that and the wall that's already up there, that's an easy diffuse. That was just beautiful retake. If you're Cal, you can't let that space go for free like that in future rounds.
Exactly. Putting up that wall means that you have to have someone to defend it, because as we can clearly see, Boise State just used it to such great effect.
Revealing area.
So early on here in the second round, we will get to see Boise State with the bye, winning the first round. We do generally tend to see that. Be interesting to see if that has as much of an impact as we generally think it will, as we see probably pistols coming out from the side of Cal. But if Boise State can knock up a second win here, then they're in good shape to get themselves maybe a bonus as well. Start out the half looking good, you know?
They're taking things really conservatively, I think. On defense for Icebox, it might be the best call, just because we can clearly see favorites for attacking teams is just the A rush, and it looks like that's going to be the case here. Blue Haze looking for some sort of pick opportunity. Will find, unfortunately, some damage on their feet. Nanostorm will come through.
They've got a really soft hold on A. They have done for the past couple rounds. Boise State not opting to play anybody really up in your face. They're willing to let Cal have this space, knowing that, just having the confidence that they can retake it later as the game goes on.
Maybe this is the change of mentality. They have someone underneath this time, but a quick drop here. Boise State picking up a 2-0, making it 3-5.
Sees one drop down from
across
heaven.
The way.
Gets one through the smoke. The defuse has come, but they don't know about the guy who's
another one.
That's everyone.
Oh my goodness, just losing one member, and that will be a hashtag worth moment. Boise State takes the second round.
Yeah, you are so fine with that. If you are the one player dropping for the defenders squad there, everybody going down, and that's not super unexpected. The extra round against the anti-eco does generally tend to go the way of the round that wins first, but now what's interesting is which way the bonus is going to go. And I'm curious who ended up finding out that underneath. Was that Troy on Viper that got caught underneath there in the replay? I think it was.
It was. Troy gets caught immediately, and then afterwards everything kind of crumbles to dust. And I mean, we see this spike plant be very aggressive after, of course, a certain amount of time. But then Cal's team it doesn't end up putting up a defensive front. You see them retreating almost all the way back to their side of the spawn. And I don't think it's going to prove dividends for them.
So Jabal, the one player who did fall, means he's stuck with just a Sheriff in this round. We also do see an early kill go the way of Cal, as they have the good guns. They were able to get the full buy this round. Boise State on their bonus. So odds are against them just in terms of gunplay at the moment, but maybe superior positioning and team play can get them a third one in a row. If you can, that is a backbreaker for the attacking squad, because they're just completely out of money for the next 2 rounds.
Auditory cues from J-Bag will signal that someone is over here, at least 1 or 2 members. Up in the wings, though, Dreammaker loses a 1v1. It's a 3 versus 5, and Spike has yet to be planted here, goes down onto the ground, and they got every angle covered so far. Boise State really going to be challenged in this retake.
They spot J-Bag out. He's going to be forced to rotate away. He's actually still waiting for teammates to get here. A little bit of a slow rotation from Shells and the rest of the Boise State squad. They're going to go on the retake now at a man disadvantage. They spot one up in the tower. Headshots there, but he's got a Spectre, so it's not a confirmed kill. Actually losing Shells in the meantime. Jabal answers with one back, and J-Bag will get one of his own. Now it's just Jabal alone with the Sheriff. Not going to be enough. Unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected, as bonus, once again, that's how these first 3 rounds generally seem to go. This is the big one now, where you got full buy versus full buy. This is our first real test of what these teams are made of here.
Well, it's time to look at the best part of the game, the cosmetics, of course. You can't use a jet knife if you're not jet, though. It's not allowed.
Skins get wins? Is that what I'm saying
that
here?
Depends on the skin. Prism Vandal for life, I mean. Look like it's an even buy on both sides. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Phantoms, Vandals. you know, the Sentinel Blade and stuff like that. Big whoop, but a Marshall here. No, wait,
No,
no,
that's an
it's
op.
the full operator round 4.
Jabal
We
with
love
a
to see it.
fatty
Jabal
buy.
feeling confident.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no one there to capitalize on.
Wrong direction, unfortunately, for Jabal, but
They didn't even acknowledge B-site as an option.
no, interesting. Maybe just hoping that they'll get over there at some
Spike
point.
planted.
There are a lot of long sight lines here on Icebox, so it has capacity to find use. Ooh, early on kill from
Nice
Shells, though.
elimination. Goes for the trade. Loses about half armor, but goes back to full health. Shells looking for continued rotation and having that kind of danger sense. Does look like Cal's prepared to defend from these 2 angles, but this is going to be enough. Here comes the recon darts from both sides.
They've given up all this space for free again, though, and I
So
don't like
much
it.
space. Rufu taking on 1. Shells will take a 2-for-1 trade at the long run, and now it's just 2 versus 4. Diffusing
One
will come
enemy
out.
remaining.
The operator's a lot of pressure, and it's distracting away from the point. The defuse is going to be stuck. Pros don't fake, and Boise State gets a 3rd defuse win.
Painful,
3-1.
painful for Jabal to lose that op there at the very end. That is a bummer, but victory still goes their way, and I really hate to harp on it, but I have to just point back to how much space between that wall. And I do not like the fact that the Viper wall gets thrown up and Cal keeps retreating beyond it. You have no vision on the spike, and that is you never ever want to have no vision on the spike. You need eyes on it.
A's not the site for the I have the lineups. The hashtag I have the lineups Viper play. You have to be on B site.
Yeah, there's too many walls here. There's too many variations in the way that the defending team can approach. Ooh, aggressive. I thought he was going to go up top and look for an early kill, but once again, Cal not even looking at B site. It's all going to be focused on A here.
There's 3 deep on B as well. No, sorry, 2 deep.
Welcome to my
The Viper's pit. See if they continue to treat this just like the wall and retreat beyond it.
Spike planted.
You have a little bit of extra, you know, reason to be in it, being the Viper itself. Time to start as the spike has been planted. Here comes a slow orb. Boise State grouping up for the attack.
This positioning from Cal is much better, although, as I said, it looks like they all start to fall back. Don't do it! Don't do this to me, boys! Right through the smoke, not going to get one, going to drop immediately. Whoever blinks first on this smoke is going to probably lose their life. Actually falling backwards.
Oh,
the spray
my
is good
goodness.
from Shell. 2
One
more picked up,
enemy
and the Reds. Boise State with the retake of all retakes.
Right in the arena, though, it's 1 versus 1!
The spray is no
And they
good!
could not find it! As the name is impronounceable, it's going to be Reyna for me for the rest of the game. Reyna pops off with very Reyna things, and that was without Empress, which is now online.
This is what happens when you use Korean characters. We can't say your name, but that's okay because Reyna popping off gets 4 in the later stages. That was a 4 versus 1. I know it was for only the briefest of moments, but a 4 versus 1, and Reyna comes out on top. That was clutch.
Reyna's pretty good.
It's almost like she's a really good character. It's crazy.
She's one of the best duelists or something.
Crazy.
I don't know.
So 3-2 scoreline now. Boise State, unfortunately, went with a full buy, so they're back on full save now. Jabal rocking just the classic, so very good chance we go to a 3-3 scoreline after this round here.
Knives are out from Cal. Blade Storm ready. This is dangerous. The peak of the century.
Oh,
Met with the spray of the bullets on the backside. Troy will back up the teammates. And Boise State will be ripped asunder. The health bars are not theirs. The
Spike
numbers
down
advantage
A.
is not theirs. And now it's just up to Dreammaker to keep this tied. Or get from
Spike
getting tied.
planted.
I don't know if he's going to. Wait a
he
minute.
gets 1.
It's the one piece. Doesn't have a gun to really back up anything else.
Uh-oh. I don't think he knows there's somebody. Yeah, doesn't know the Reyna's on the flank, so he will drop there, unfortunately.
And it's a nice turn of pace here for Cal. They were able to be aggressive, get the plant down, and this time not really conceding that zone as easily anymore. So, I mean, if they stick to their guns, no pun intended, things may continue to be their way. But Boise State, feel like, yes, there is consideration for this B play, but it hasn't even been looked at. This might be the first time, and they might even invest in this Viper's Pit, which
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that
I think you should wait to see anything happen on B-side before you put any resources over here. Because I think this is just a donated Viper's Pit for free.
Well, now they never go B, right?
I suppose.
This just articulated it. They said, oh, well, we weren't planning on going B anyway.
Unfortunately, they lose too quickly over on A, so now the odds against them as everyone from Boise State going to have to slowly rotate over. The Viper has pushed up the wrong direction, trying to find a flank. Is kind of in the garage there. Doesn't find anything. And actually,
okay,
an
but the pit's gone now.
Yeah, they finally do rotate B,
Wait,
but
is it?
no, it's still there.
It's still alive.
The pit's still active.
Somehow.
They do lose Dreammaker in the mid, though, so it's just Shells and J-Bag over on that Viper, and Shells is all locked up on his own here. Does get one. Good job sussing out the flank from Troy. And now, feels like Cal...
What's happening?
I have no idea. Feels like Cal are just kind of reacting to where they see Boise State. They don't have a ton of interest in going deep. Uh-oh. J-Bag doesn't see the head poking up over the top of the ramp in mid, and he will go down.
Like a roving death squad there from Cal a little bit. Kind of scary.
It was a weird 5-man death ball comp. I've never
Exactly.
Is this Bronze League? I'm not sure what we're watching here.
I mean, got the lead because of it, so is it really that bad?
I guess not. Boise State for the first time at a disadvantage in terms of score. Drop behind, and they're back on the save. So this continued A rush, I think, has Boise State flummoxed. I think they keep expecting something to go B, and when it doesn't, they just get more and more confused.
Yeah, it's a tried and true thing for Cal. They like A. You can bet on that a bit.
You know, as we take a quick break here, we do have a bit of a pause.
A little technical difficulty, it looked like.
I want to ask you a question, though, Baratel.
Oh, please.
At what point, as Boise State on this defense, do you just realize it's not going to be B and stop sending resources
BB.
over there? BB. But you know what I'm saying, right?
Well, here's an interesting question. You have Killjoy. Why even BB at all?
That's true. That's true. You could just set up some turrets and leave it over there.
Anything.
Yeah.
It looks like through that technical difficulty, that was a fast one, and Cal picks up a 5th round win. Now we're on to round 9 here. Boise State starting to let the lead slip away from them, but still manageable, just 2 down.
Yeah, see, having your Sage play over here means that she's not in any position to heal when invariably aggression breaks out over at A.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't have any sort of quick movement ability, you might as well not have a Sage, because she comes in at the time of the retake, right? After A's already lost, and Sage has no retaking abilities. That's not her forte.
This guy's trying to be grim, okay? Just let him do it.
Welcome to
If they want to make it more dramatic, then more power to them, I suppose. As the plank comes down, Troy going to put that in pretty much the default spot, as we see over here in A, as well as the Viper's Pit thrown down. So it's now onus on Boise State to retake once again, and there is a wall up.
What do they do with it? Aladrone over into the Viper's Pit could be dangerous. Could have the right angle almost immediately. Shots to be sprayed across the board. Can't track down anyone just yet, but so close to that red silhouette. Didn't get the information, but the wall is now down. They have freedom of movement.
There they are.
And Defender Killjoy will be used, as well as the Hunter's Fury. Will they be able to tag it up? Dream Fairy usually so accurate with this ultimate, but here comes this Viper's Bite.
Oh
so
no, the second
much on
molly.
the ground, it's not going to be enough.
The second molly is perfectly lined up. There won't be time to defuse, and that's going to mean that Boise State lose another one, maybe even not escaping the blast completely. Oh.
Okay.
I think Calvin D got a little bit of skin burned off his backside there. Just got away from that one.
Troy does fall there, which means that a little bit of the econ there from Cal will have to be spent on a new set of armory, but not too difficult for them to do when they are 6-3 right now. Boise State now getting Flame Horizon, but still managing to keep themselves in a bit of a proactive situation. They are now considering, hey, Voiceless, they've only gone A this whole time. Let's double up. Let's maybe do a 3 defense on A. No, actually big at 4.
And of course, the round that they do that is the round that Cal go for a default and
mind
end up putting one all over the place. Cal with the Giga Brain play coming out here. I cannot believe that the one round Boise State finally stopped putting resources to B is the one. Although, honestly, they do have somebody playing Kitchen, so they should have a good idea of what's happening. Unfortunate timing there, as we do see Shells lost over on B. That means B's wide open for Cal if they manage to.
Swinging too.
They do swing. So now Boise State once again going to be forced to play the retake here.
The full-on sprint. Boise State has a possible flank angle. Not really the best gun to do so if you are relying on the operator, but it looks like they're not considering that B is an option until
they just heard the beep.
That you finally find out that, wow, they went B, didn't they?
Yeah, Calvin hears the beep and all of the Broncos just go, oh man.
You're kidding me.
Yep. Smokes come out. We're going to have to see the recon dart try and get some people revealed. He'll get the bolt destroyed so he at least knows somebody's there. But with this wall thrown up, this is a tough position to try and retake into, especially with an op held down here.
Yeah, and those boxes not being able to be shot through is also a good one, but Yellow Crate is the dangerous one. This is the merry-go-round of the entire Valorant scene. And shots will be just thrown across the ice, and Boise State will give a flawless to Cal. Cal really running away with momentum.
No good there on the retake, and unfortunately, the Broncos lose everything. Every gun, every player down. So with a 7-3 scoreline on the board, Boise State are forced into, it kind of looks like a force buy coming out here. We've got a Spectre and some pistols.
That's cool. You can pick up with a Bucky.
You still a Bucky fan even after it's been nerfed into the ground?
I would be the worst kind of fan if I just abandoned it when it got a little nerf or two.
You're Bucky stan, we ride or die.
Bucky stan, we ride or die. No matter what.
Well, Broncos back on that spread defense as they only have one player playing a very loose A defense over here. That means Cal can get all this space for free as they have been doing so far. It means Boise State going to be a 5v5 retake once again. Hasn't favored them for quite some time now. I don't like this continued same approach. I want to see something different. I know it didn't work for them in the last game.
This is a quadra-flank Boise State roster.
Hey, that's different.
Okay, goes for the one trade, gets one out of the way.
If anything's different, this is it, I suppose.
Out the health bar, just peek for your Sage to heal. This is all they want to do in the game.
Calvin D got on top, going to have all the angles in the world. He'll get the view, but not
only at health.
Bufu waiting there for the flank, no good. J-Bag going to get one on the other side. All the Broncos.
Oh, the resurrection. It's a 3 versus 3. They just have to call things out.
We've swapped sides now.
The shots deflect. Boise State will find it's a 3.
Oh no! Timing no good.
Versus 1.
The updraft is there, but he doesn't get over the wall. They get the headshot.
But he didn't. Oh, it's not enough.
I don't. It's so close. I can't even think. No.
Oh.
No.
He couldn't stick to the half. Not enough. He needed one more second.
Yeah, if he'd managed to stick half, they would have had it. But without the half stick, we have entered the final round of the half, and Boise State looking rough. If it's a loss, we go 9-3.
I don't know if you played Valorant a few times. I don't know if you've ever heard this of like attacker favorite map, defender favorite map, blah 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 blah. So
something I may have heard on the forums once or twice.
May have heard that. That might be the case of what's going on here right now. Boise State really struggling to find an angle on defense. But in this situation, taking 3 away might be something you're comfortable with if you're a more attacker favorite team. And the first time Boise State's left this side of the map, and the Vipers pit used in a great way this time.
This is how I wanted to see the Vipers pit used all like, half long.
Okay, just step in. Hey, wait.
You need to stay in the Vipers pit.
Did it?
Or it's gonna.
All right. It's still up, right?
But this is what I wanted to see from them all half long. Play the Vipers pit where you know Cal would like to be. Force them to go to the side they're not a fan of. And now with the Killjoy ult util here, I think this makes Cal a little bit more nervous about throwing this up. They're going to have to use both of their walls to get the position in order to plant the spike here. Boise State, once again, with a retake forced on them. We're going to have to see if they can come out with anything here. There's one on top of yellow. Oh, Calvin D going to barely escape with his life. That was risky. Didn't have his gun out. Could have easily lost his head to the player on top of yellow there. He used pump one.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of kills exchanged on either side. The wall's going to come down. No good. Nail. The knives are there, and so we go into the half 9-3. Boise State down 6 rounds.
It's manageable. It's all manageable.
Winnable?
With hashtag winnable. Boise State again. We've seen them oftentimes kind of take away games when they are on the offense. First and foremost, and they get that lead, and then you close out those kind of those final couple rounds on the defense side of things. So maybe that is what we should be seeing here. My question is, where's the shorties?
My question has less to do with shorties and more to do with what is Boise State's game plan here. They have a new roster. We know they're very aggressive, or their old roster was. Are we going to see them come out with a little more measured default type approach now that their roster switched up a bit? Or are they going to be just as W key heavy as always?
Is Viper always this twitchy?
I think so. Has something to do with inhaling that much poison. Maybe makes you a little twitchy.
It's got venom in her veins.
Uh-huh.
Boise State aggressing, and immediately a different play style off the bat. Cal did very rarely see action on the B side. Boise State already putting 3 members deep on that side of the map.
Much more
Spike's
measured
not even
approach.
picked up yet, so they have yet to decide where they want to bring it.
I like this.
Standing
This is a
ahead.
very measured approach from Boise State. Not as W key heavy as we used to see them be. It's almost a default, you could call it. And because they're so measured, they may get a free pick. Yep, as we saw it on the minimap, over there onto the jet. Just wanting to see information, pushed up too far and walked right into the crosshairs of the Broncos. 2 more will be exchanged over on B site. They're at a man advantage so far and have gained almost the whole B site. But they have to take advantage quick before Cal rotate into position. They're actually going to back out. Mind games at play here. Now they're going to push over to A, and
It's a mid-fight.
it is empty.
Oh, it's going to be a mid-fight of epic proportions. The
they
orb's
cap it?
there. They find one, but the shots go awry.
Down. Attacker
And they go
spawn.
straight. Bufu locks it down. Picks up the spike. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. House favoring neither
30 seconds
team.
left.
They saw the spike drop Cal did in mid, so they don't actually know. I mean, they can guess there was probably a rotation back over to A, but they don't know for sure because the spike did drop.
They didn't stick it.
They know it's there
Rotation from the
now.
backside. Nice shots here.
One
J-Bag
enemy
gets it.
remaining.
Ooh,
Get the plant
good.
shells. Looking for something. Goes for a heal on the. Oh, nice. Healing up your teammate. There is about a sliver of health there on Dreammaker. And it's up to Reyna, the player named Reyna, to do another almost unfathomable feat of this 1v3. Went for the left pick, did not find it.
That was
Boise
always-
State get the first blood again, but this time on the attacker.
That was always going to be an uphill battle. She had no, not Leers. That's
No
what it's called.
Leers,
No Leers
eyeballs.
available. I was going to call it blind. That's not what it's called. But yeah.
They call it blind. People don't say I'm throwing Leer, they say I'm throwing blind.
Yes, but no Leers available. So it just when you have a crossfire set up like that for the Broncos, that almost never goes the attacker's way, especially when you're playing pistol rounds. So well played from the Broncos.
Got the rapier out
Good
there.
good defensive positioning after the plant. We did see them take the pistol in the last round, so we'll have to see if that's something they can come up with in this next one as well.
I didn't realize that Cal's Soba, their player name is Squeeze. It's a cool name.
I like it.
Boise State trying to squeeze some more W's out of this icebox
Ooh.
map. Nice shots across the board. Not going to tag up anyone just yet. His health bars are still even across the way.
Good info gain from this Owl drone. They know all about who may or may not be playing around mid. That gives them space to work with.
A little chip damage. Not enough to put Shells in a dangerous position. Not going to pop that heal. It would be definitely wasted at that point. But shots going across to Jabald as well.
Between pistols and SMGs, there's not a lot of long-range damage here outside of a couple of these sheriffs that were picked up.
Right.
So these super long-range sightlines aren't as dangerous as they could be in later rounds. So I'd like to see the Broncos take advantage of a B push on this round because of that, because it does contain so many of those long sightlines.
See Cal putting 2 members on that side of the map. One retreating back towards mid. Looks like they're going to go for a mid push, and this could be exactly what Boise State wants.
Ooh, they
Shot
shot one.
across, barely with the smoke screen coming through.
Perfect
Boise
timing.
State looking
30
for an
seconds
opportunity to
left.
plant in the smoke. They go for it. Decay or not, it does not matter. An arm grenade will be there as well. The double stack. Boise State looks to hold this.
And this is the most powerful, retake position that Cal had used against Boise State so many times in the last half. Lots of negative space, lots of bad sightlines that Cal have to negotiate to even get to the spike. And once they do, there's double Molotovs planted there. So Boise State with a huge advantage as far as this goes. Good
shot.
spray.
Ball
Gets
line
a
two.
second. Perfect. Only 2 players remaining here for Cal. They're not on spike. They've got to
One enemy
negotiate as well.
Through the smoke!
Just hold down left click.
And a 3-piece with some chicken nuggets as Jabald picks it up. Boise State getting closer, but still has a lot of a mountain to climb.
Viper smoke plus left click equals easy win, Forehead. Just take the win, Boise State.
Shoot them, forehead.
Get exactly what they wanted over on the B side and are well on their way in bringing this game back into a
A
contentious
little bit
position.
more of a manageable territory,
Exactly.
9-9.
Exactly. So Boise State favoring the offense here so far. Have to see if they can get their bonus. Now that we did see them pick up round 1 and 2 in half 1. So this is the teller right here. Can they get the bonus here in half 2?
It's all about the way that they're playing the map. Yes, the gunplay has been pretty dang good so far, able to lock down targets, click heads. But the way that they're playing this map in particular is more chess-like than Cal did. Cal did the very typical A. Get it, A?
That was terrible. Don't you ever do that again.
Oh, I will. I'm known for puns on this desk. I have punny power. Boise State rushing forward.
Taking a
Shots
page out
across
of
the board.
Taking a
Goes
page-
the ulti orb. And like you had mentioned, that short range is only dominant there for the SMG. Mid-range to long range is going to falter. Remember, gets the plant though.
They're even now.
3 versus 3. House bars again, not favored just yet.
Dreammaker watching the flank, but nobody's coming from that direction. It's all from the backside.
Bufu gonna get it taken out here, but the 2 versus 2, one healer.
Sova's
Also
so low
something to
though.
consider.
One
Sova is
enemy
dangerously
remaining.
low.
Oh, good lineup from Shells,
Gonna
the
be a 2 versus
SMG.
1, and again, this is forcing Cal to react. Shot through the box. Will not find anyone just yet around the corner. It's just a distraction.
All this crossfire's
Bufu
perfect.
needs to go
Enemy
for something,
remaining.
but he finds a 1 versus 1, pulls out the classic. Pro's never fake, but he gets the classic M2, and he'll actually take it away with the Z gun. Boise State
So
falters.
unfortunate.
The same way they faltered on the other side of the map. That round 3 swap is
healer.
too much for them to overcome.
The
Can you
crossfire
imagine if
was
they had guns with more firepower?
the crossfire was there even for the Broncos. They just needed to move a little bit faster, just a little bit too hesitant on the peak. Means that what could have been a 2v1 in a crossfire ends up being isolated 1v1s for Bufu, and he ends up picking up exactly what he needs in the final seconds of the game there. It's just,
Now that's a cool name. Bufu.
I wonder if it's based on the name of the ice spells from Shin Megami Tensei and Persona games.
Ah, no.
It could be. I mean, that's what they call
It's
them.
a reference to an old professional support player for League of Legends, Bunny Fufu.
I'm gonna have to look this up after the game.
Fufu.
A-site hit coming out once again for the Broncos.
It's a commit too.
They've gone with a full buy as they are able to. That was their bonus on the last one. So if there was a round for them to bring it back, it would be this one, as guns are somewhat equalized here. In fact, most of Cal did die. That was a pretty expensive win for them there. So maybe the Broncos able to find something. Wall goes up from Sage. Plant is going to be good.
Aldrin, but distraction. Nice sheriff right into the dome.
That was crispy.
Daybag looking for something. Finds getting flanked on the backside. Bufu continues to tear apart Boise State. 2 versus a 4-piece. It's
Last
possible.
player
Dreammaker looking for something. Does not find the clicks he needs to. And Bufu will take the 3K. And they're going to give the defuse over to Squeeze.
After you get revealed by the drone or the recon dart right there, that is a tall order to get 4 against 1 after you've been revealed. That was very tough for Boise State. They had very excellent take, but immediately after the post plant, as the Broncos tried to get into good post plant positions, they got themselves picked off by the immediate engage from Cal. They had no hesitation in jumping in as soon as the spike touched the ground, and that quick headshot coming out from Reyna and that Sheriff dispelled disaster for the Broncos.
And this looking pretty grim. Boise State still has a chance. There's still a little bit of light. There's still a little bit of pulse in that heart monitor, but Cal wants to sniff that out and take it away. The knives will help do so for Boise State. They'll be popped. Blade Storm could be huge, depending on where those knives do land.
This is the first time we've seen either team go for a mid play all game.
Yeah, I wonder why. Go under the ramp. That's the typical. Our 2 members watching through window, though, and as you peek out, you'll be found. As Bufu just sniffs it out,
no.
Boise State's play is completely being taken apart. Another 3-piece. Do they end up trying to give it on over for the ace?
Last
Is
player
the question.
standing.
No, they do not. It'll be taken away, and Boise State is on.
Match point.
Match point here, and a
Match
very
point.
tall mountain for them to climb.
Oh,
Not a lot of
7
resources
rounds.
to do.
7 rounds in a row before we can even get. That's to get us to overtime, folks. Not even to get a win. That's a tall order. It's crazier things have been done, but the Broncos need a Herculean effort to take this first map here.
Oh, they got it.
They
They got that in the bag.
the icebox. Otherwise, going to be going over to Cal. Maybe some hiccups here coming from the new roster here on the Broncos side. Maybe icebox just isn't their map. We'll have to see. With it all on the line and 1 win remaining between Cal and this map 1 victory, they come out with a very aggressive A defense push all the way up to the choke point. Boise State not going to head that direction, so it won't result in much other than info being gained. What that does gain for Cal is they know, because the arena has pushed up so far, that they need to play more passive in mid and B. And that results in Troy getting Jabald immediately because of that info gain. Already looking grim here.
Okay.
Rez is good.
I think to stay alive, that's the right call.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to burn it, it's now. There's no future rounds you want to be saving that for.
Shoots across. I know someone's there. Viper wall will come out. And Boise State just continue to get lucky through these blind walls. Remains to be seen as The clarion call has been sounded. Reyna on the possible flank. Doesn't want to peek out too apprehensively, but Boise State walking into their own Viper's Pit. Gonna go for a plant of their own. Damage across the board. Nice flick from Shells. But another trade kill on the other side, and here comes Hunter's Fury. Goes across the board.
Oh,
He'll
no.
get the lockdown, squeeze,
Spike
gets the
down,
ultimate
B.
online, and it's about time because they are using it to such great effect. There's Silva v Silva. Shock Dart will be here. 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Last player
Spike
standing.
cannot be planted.
No.
And Boise State had a plan of action. Hesitation is the seed of defeat.
Defenders
And
win.
Cal will take away map 1.
Very unfortunate. Sova Oak gets committed at the end there, trying to ensure the plant, but it's not good enough because of the aggressive positioning from Reyna. She picks up just enough to secure that final round, and Boise State drop 0-1 on Icebox.
Guys, the Idaho Army National Guard is a proud supporter of Boise State Esports, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Top plays at the end of the night are presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. For more than 10 jobs, offering a $20,000 bonus and a degree of your choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is truly the best team out there. Reach out on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That was a tough one, but
disappointing.
Boise State lives by Icebox. They also die by Icebox, so it really can go either way. But are there any ones carrying the torch of hope for Boise State, would you say? Ones that maybe have to put on the bigger backpack for map 2?
Shells had some excellent play out on the Sage, was able to get some reses in clutch moments. Icebox maybe just not going the Broncos' way. I'd like to see them switch it up just a little bit on any future maps.
Right.
Go for a little bit more varied approaches.
Yeah.
Overall, not any one thing I can feel like that I really want to point to. I felt like just kind of outplayed in gunplay in a lot of different ways. The strategic play was there, and in those pistol rounds where you can see the strategic play have a bit more of an impact, the Broncos picked those up, all of them. Just not winning the gunplay battles when it all comes down to it. So
Yeah.
just got to be a little bit tighter in map 2. Maybe just angles better. Find something there that wasn't there for them on Icebox.
Yeah, and we'll have to see, does Boise State continue to push their W key forward, or they start playing 3D chess with Cal? That's going to do it for map 1. Stay tuned for map 2 in this best of 3. We'll be right back.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Gosh, that music's so good. We're here back for the game 2 of our coverage of Conference 1 Valorant here, Boise State versus Cal. We just watched Cal kind of sweep away Icebox, and we are headed to map 2. Hopefully Boise State can maybe decipher the cheat code to try and get this through. Maybe it is the Konami. Who knows? Maybe it's just, hold all the buttons all at once.
In the spirit of this Valorant Halloween season, we got the spooky music. That was a spooky first map for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's very scary for them. But, with that being said, it's mainly a motif across all the games that we see here at Boise State Esports is this kind of, you ever see like a MMA fight or a boxing match?
Yeah.
The fighters themselves, they use this analogy all the time. They extend their gloves to fist bump out of respect, but what they're really doing is gauging the striking distance of their opponent. That very well could be the case for this Valorant matchup, and maybe they figured some stuff out throughout the course of map 1. Maybe that's why they tried different things to push Cal to the limit and then determine, okay, this is what we need to do against this. We'll take map 2 real easy. We'll see if they make those same adjustments for map 3.
Be interesting to see if that is
It's
indeed the case.
possible.
It is very possible. Love to see the Broncos turn it around and take us to a game 3. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I'd be a big fan. This is a Boise State stream. We're always going to love them. But Boise State maybe have figured some stuff out, but they always have Doc's keys of the game in Valorant. It's focus angles and flank, know your win condition, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. And some of those have been checked. Some of those need a little bit of room for improvement. But regardless, these Doc's keys of the game are brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. Any predictions? Are we going to see any agent swaps? That's the big question.
I hope so. There were a couple agents the Broncos picked. not meme swaps.
It's not a meme. You said it yourself.
Okay, he's not a meme, but I guess what I wanted to say is I just would like to see the Broncos play more to their strengths a little bit out here. Like, for example, the Broncos played Killjoy in that last map, and this is nothing against the player playing Killjoy, but I just don't feel like the utility from the character and her kit, the agent, was of any use to them in that last map.
Yeah.
What did Killjoy bring to the table that the Broncos were able to use? Nothing. Not saying the player playing Killjoy brought nothing, but the kit of Killjoy just didn't.
It's hard to be enabled when the character that you're playing does not have that catalytic approach.
Yeah.
Maybe switching things up could be huge. We've seen some often swaps now, and it is map dependent. Wonder what the map will be, but it's actually going to be Ascent.
And we do see a Killjoy from either side, so
I think Killjoy on Ascent has a lot more agency.
I definitely agree. There's a lot more sightlines, and there's turret placement spots that make her so much more useful.
I was about to mention this as well. Boise State's rocking the Breach, and I was going to mention how that character has seen some more in popularity, especially when you want to be the one pressing W.
Yeah, his flashes can feel so oppressive because he can throw them out so quickly one after the other, and he doesn't have to put himself in harm's way to do it, right? Phoenix has to be pushed up quite a bit. Sky has to stand still and kind of steer them. Even if you pop flash a little bit, she's got to stand still to do it. Breach can just do it while he's running. He can peek off his own flashes. He's deadly.
How do you feel about the one duelist versus two?
I don't hate it. I think duelists are... There's necessities for a team comp in Valorant, and duelists aren't one of them. We've seen plenty of professional teams make very successful runs with comps that contain one or no duelists.
Right.
So it can be done.
Boise State sweeping things out from multiple angles pretty successfully, I should say, as well. But they need to be careful. Keeping themselves down here in this spot under heaven is a dangerous one at that. Yes, they do have the ability to throw some abilities through the wall. Is it going to be enough? Boise State sniffing something up in the air. Timer's going to continue to tick. Here comes the rotation from mid. Only about 2 spots that Cal's going to try to approach from. Boise State finds one, but the right click's going to be too powerful for them to overcome. A trade of kills left and right, and the left and right straight will be huge, and the retake from Cal will strike first blood. Boise State had a plan of action, just could not execute that defense.
The positioning places were good. It just... I hate to say it, just
Gunplay.
gunplay too good for Cal. The wide swing first coming out from that Jet instantly gives.
Into the M2.
Yeah, into the M2 just instantly gives. I can't even remember who it was. Whoever's watching door there, and after that,
Shells?
I think it might have been Shells. And then after that, you know, the Jet lives.
Scary.
The Jet lives longer than she has any right to. Walked straight into the crosshairs of two separate Broncos and still managed to live through the end of the round.
A little 1-2 step.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sierra, you know.
So just
For those that get the reference, I love you. For those that don't, I'm very sorry. Sierra is one of the best artists ever. Nice shot. No, recon dart being found out, being taken down. Dash forward to the Ares, but the welcoming arm of Squeeze will be here. And Bufu's got the rep. Fire Marshall on lockdown, but they will get shut down instead. 3 versus 3, Boise State getting to be with the quickness, but the long range deficit is going to be huge for them. It's finally a 1 versus 1, but the firepower will be Boise State's, and the team ace will be given on over to Cal.
the Broncos almost managed to make it happen there. They force up, and they get almost everything they were looking for. But because of the loss, they're now in deep trouble economically. This is going to be a full save. And while they did take out a lot of members of Cal, who also forced bot, I mean, as was their right, they won the first round, they got the win. So they have a little more room. They can get away with that a little bit. So this next round will not be a full buy from Cal, but it's a lot closer to one than Boise State are going to get.
Yeah, it's pistols versus SMGs at this point, and by golly, it's not what you want to be coming through with Cal and their ability to just lock things down. First elimination, though, and a long one at that for Ghosts.
That's a good way to start it.
For them to pick things up, maybe pick up a weapon and use that as the catalyst for success for the rest of the round. Pizza will be guarded, as it should be. So
Those
one
smokes are
versus
going to
one.
fade.
You do not have the firepower to maybe back up this play.
Smokes are going to fade, but the Jet has better positioning over there in Pizza than Jabal. He'll be forced to be the one to peek. Dreammaker's position is revealed. He doesn't know there's somebody playing plant right there. The tree position is very good. Actually going to back away. Turns his back to an enemy unknowingly. Oh!
The turnaround!
Turnaround gets the
Game sense
headshot.
from Dreammaker. It'll be a 4 versus 3. Jabal dashing to backside. CT spawn will be found out.
Got to check your angles, though. That is not how you want it. You don't want to
They're
leave that.
sprinting to some sort of access point. The health bar is favoring them for the moment.
Enough information
They still
gained.
need to get themselves onto the point and close to the plant. Door will be closed. Heaven will be the access point now for Cal. They have someone going through tree room. The door will be taken down shortly. But again, the arsenal's not in their favor, Voiceless, and it's going to be a scary one for them to combat with. Squeeze using the util, trying to find some information out. No one's in the corner just yet. They find one member. They don't know someone's back there on boxes, but they don't know someone's in heaven.
Last player
But after the dust settles, it is a 1 versus 1. Goes for the reload.
He does get it off.
1 HP. Pro's never fake, but he's not going to go for the fake at all. Just needs to play for time. Reyna knows that they can win the 1v1 because of the health deficit.
Good sense from Dreammaker to know that's a fake. Feels the second one coming through. Gonna force the fake again. Now knows it has to be stuck. Gonna push into it. Gets the kill.
Oh my goodness.
Dreammaker,
take
you
it away.
beast. He'll lose his life to the bomb, but that's
Pro's never
okay.
fake.
True terrorists go down with the bomb.
Pro's never fake. That's
All the way back from CS. Yeah, excellent game sense. Yeah. No, but that was beautiful from Dreammaker. Having the game sense to recognize the first one's probably a plant, feels the second one, forces him to stop with the third plant using the dart, because you either finish the plant and get sighted, or you take out the dart. So forcing the third sting, knows exactly where he is. Just perfectly played from Dreammaker. That was clutch. So well played.
Dire need for them to win that round as well. Just based off econ alone. Giving themselves some extra firepower now in the pockets. Smokes continue to be expertly used to buy some time for these different rotations through mid. And I like this. You know, we often see this map go the same way or similar to the way the Icebox does. All teams going one side. I like this ability to challenge these default plans.
Ooh, good aftershock. Gonna force Bufu to move.
Oh my goodness.
Bufu
right
does get shells, but he
moving into the welcoming arms of a Boise State left click, and that's not going to be a good one there. It's 3 versus 4. Cal still on defense. Has some great ultis to use if necessary, but we'll have to see if whether or not that goes and happens. Hunter's Fury could be huge as well.
Broncos are in a rough position here. They haven't really gained any territory or information. They got the kill in mid, but immediately lost the position that Jabald had gained because it was a rotation over to Pizza. So now Boise State are going to have to 3-stack one site, as that's their best chance to get anywhere and get on site. They're going to hope for a pick. during the take and try and get, you know, the bomb down and go for a retake off of that. They get what they're looking for first. They get squeezed. Unfortunately, the peek is perfectly timed to make sure Reyna does get one onto J-Bag. So now there's 2 players remaining here for Boise State. They get to equalize. Their bomb is going to go down. So it's a 2 versus 2. They have the makings to hold this. Oh, no.
1 enemy remaining.
4 HP and a dream.
And a dream.
Oh, my goodness, you're kidding me.
He gets the flick. Peaks perfectly timed, and that's the 2nd round in a row Dreammaker has snatched back from the victory of defeat. Dreammaker putting the Broncos...
You mentioned the dream.
He's putting it on his
Dreammaker
back.
makes it happen.
Putting the Broncos on his back and carrying his team to 2 rounds in a row. That was nothing short of gorgeous from the Sova player on the Broncos.
In the interim, we did talk about a player that needs to put on the bigger backpack, and I think it might be Dreammaker so far this map.
That was incredible. And with the Broncos' 2nd round in a row, that will force Cal onto their first eco. Means the Broncos have a full buy here. This should be a very spicy round 5 coming out.
Knives are out. Blade Storm here.
Blocking sight.
Cloudburst is going to be used. Has been seen the nerf stick, if you will.
Oh.
Nice amount of damage on J-Bag. Nice nanostorm there. Nice rotation. The Knights will be snuffed out. For another assist, but on the backside, it's just going to be trades of kills. Boise State in the lead, though, for man. Only for a moment. Flash going to get themselves to a safe position, 3 versus 2. Boise State using this as a way to hold them and pigeonhole Cal
1 enemy
in this
remaining.
corner. Just 1 player remaining, and he is solitary in mid alone with the Marshal. Want to keep your long angles at minimal distance as possible because this Marshal could tear you apart. And a 1 versus 2, as long as they do that same crossfire mentality, should be huge for them.
Bufu was able to pick up a rifle during all that, so Cal recognized that they had a weapon disadvantage. They come out aggressive, trying to get early kills and pick up guns off of that. It doesn't go their way. They end up at a man disadvantage, but Bufu using the disruption ability of the Omen here is able to pick up a rifle.
Is crazy. They baited him into the hallway and take him out, and they'll live too.
That post plant is only good in the one circumstance that Bufu gives to them.
Right.
If Bufu just goes for the defuse, he can get himself...
terrible.
It's terrible, and he can get himself a series of 1v1s. That's an easy, well, okay, not easy, but it's a manageable clutch for Bufu if he just goes for the defuse. But because he gets aggressive, he plays right into the Broncos' hands, and they get the round win.
Mind games, 3D chess, all things we talk about. Sometimes it's nice to be validated, I guess.
Making you look real Galaxy Brain right now.
Well, I couldn't perform this well, but I can think this well, sure. My hands, I got boomer hands, really. Boise State's got a boomer hand character of their own with the breach. Cloudburst's going to continue to come out. They know someone usually peeks his catwalk, and a great use of this. No one-way's being used, though. Very interesting.
Oh, I don't think they know Jabald is here.
But it does not find the 1v1 yet again. Jabald found lacking in the gunplay section.
Bufu with the superior peak finds exactly what he wants at an angle. And the angle is also there for Blue Haze. Gets a headshot with the op. So the Broncos now down 2, and big weapon advantage coming out for Cal now.
That's an operator right there.
An operator with precedence over mid now. So you might as well forget about...
There goes mid control.
Yeah, they have no smokes. And they have lost mid control, so
Standing ahead.
that's you're at an uphill battle if you ever want to go through mid now as the Broncos.
They have the ultimates to do so with, right? Cosmic Divide can be huge to say,
That's
okay,
true.
you have Catwalk here, let me just wall off Cat.
I'd love to see Cosmic Divide go up right through the middle of Pizza, like at the door, and then the Broncos 3-stack onto B. Because you dare Cal into pushing through your divide. You're like, all right, if you're feeling so hot, come through the divide and face us. Otherwise, we'll be waiting.
Yeah, they could also play right into the arms of a defensive Killjoy ult, but we'll have to see whether or not no one's moving. The time is really not of Boise State's essence right now with 14 seconds remaining, and they need a large amount of that to get the plant down.
10 seconds left.
Swing things into action.
They know the hit's coming here now because they know the Broncos couldn't be going anywhere else. There's no time. 5 seconds remaining. Nope. Not going to happen.
Player
Not
standing.
going to happen. Going to go for a
Spike
save here on
down
this
B.
gun. Maybe get an exit elimination. Nope, no movement will allow such activity. Now things are tied yet again, 3-3. Boise State, though, not letting things really slip away from them just yet.
No, they did manage to save a gun. They didn't commit any ultimates to a losing round, so
I need a new picture. I'm so sorry.
I like it.
Do you?
Whenever I look at it, I'm like, you look like you're so vibrant and exciting, and I'm just kind of standing there smiling. I'm like, I look so boring by
Do you want to know what
comparison.
the source of that picture is?
I do, yeah.
Someone subbed during a League of Legends broadcast, and we were in between games. And they're like, okay, cool.
You want to fight it?
Here's my sub. Baratel, do the Gragas dance from League of Legends.
No,
That was a failed attempt at that. Gonna
I just
drop
always
door.
think you look so excited, and I look so boring in comparison. Oh, we squeeze pick up 2 before he
my
falls.
goodness.
They don't know one's in the back of sight.
Last player
Walking
standing.
into death arm. It's going to be a
Strike
1
down,
versus 3. Picks up a gun that might be able to do so, but they're putting themselves in the barrel just like a fish, and the operator will get the final shot there.
That's just a lack of respect coming out from the Broncos. You need to play enough. Like, you pull your knife out for what in that circumstance? Do you really need the 0.3 seconds of extra movement
It
speed?
looks cool.
It's because it looks cool. You need to have the discipline to keep your gun out and, and feel that somebody could be playing the back of Boathouse there. Because that's exactly what happened, and you get caught out without your gun out and you die for it. That's just, you have to be prepared for somebody to be playing there, and in that circumstance, Broncos just aren't, and they lose the round for it.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of squeeze in the kill feed last map, but this time they are really squeezing the life out of Boise State, like that of a boa constrictor. Yeah?
Is that a pun, or are you trying to make,
Pun.
is that
I
a
was just making
nature
sure
fact?
I was just making sure I knew the snake that squeezed
Yes.
people to death.
Yes, a boa constrictor squeezes snakes. Oh, that was spicy. Shuts down the Aldrone
Now-
like a millisecond after it's revealed.
I think in this situation, you peek with the Aldrone and go for the 50-50.
Actually, using the smoke, they do manage to gain the space for themselves, take down the Killjoy turret, so they've actually gained presence on A. Hey, this is good. I like this from the Broncos. Door comes
The flank
down.
TP.
Yeah.
I think Calvin's got the right idea. Sniffing out the hook. Well,
They know he's
not
there.
in front of us, so he's got to be behind us somewhere. Gets the nice rotation. Ultimate wasted. Ultimate drops. Attacker Killjoy ult sending them scurrying, but what is this worth it? No, to be almost instantly taken out,
Last player
as
standing.
well as 2 members of Boise State.
And not
And
much
now
time.
the defender KJ will come out, and it will be demise for Boise State. A 5-3 lead will be given over to Cal. Depends on who gets the extra point at the end.
The idea good on paper, but they had to know that the Hunter's Fury for Cal was up, so that's easy to negate the lockdown coming out from Boise State. And after that, it's just a really fast retake that Cal used to their advantage, just out-aggroing the Broncos, and it pays dividends there.
It's a hard side to take, knowing that Cal has an operator as well. I think that's disincentivized to go A unless you have some sort of heaven control, which you can't really afford to have in these longer range engages.
So we're about halfway through this this half right now.
Yeah.
And we mentioned it last map, but if it's not just a meme, and if there was ever a map that is attacker-defender sided, attacking on this map is tough, man.
Yeah.
So this is one of those circumstances where Boise State may have more in the tank on the defensive side. We just have to wait and see. But there's so many choke points, and they're all so oppressive on Ascent that it can feel so oppressive trying to break through these choke points.
Right.
I'd like to see the Broncos go for like a full 5-stack send through a point, just because of how oppressive it can be to retake. If they're in a 5v5 retake scenario, there's a world where they find success by making Cal retake into them as the attackers, you know?
Let's just stay on the backside, getting some chip shots there. We'll take out one, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. I do like the mentality to think that this could just be defender heavy, but you have to consider as well defender breach.
It's always a possibility. I mean, if you know the point they're coming in from, you can delay really a long time using those flashes, make
That's
people
fair.
scared to push into you. So, but it's all information based, you know?
Right.
The Broncos are in a good position for this round. This aftershock or
That's such a cool view. Thank you,
30 seconds
production, for
left.
having the wherewithal for that. That's sick. Does not clip him in the corner, though. It looks like it did, but doesn't matter. As Squeeze continues to constrict the life out of
One
Boise
enemy
State. He will
remaining.
find his health bar taken down to
down
0, and it's
B.
a 1 versus 2. Shell has a blind. The Lear will be behind him, but he does not land the shot. The quick trigger finger from Blue Haze will reign supreme as it's 6-3 Boise State, looking a lot like map 1.
Yeah, this is not looking good for the Broncos.
Stop showing me.
I still like it.
I like it too.
I still like it.
It's called reverse psychology. I love seeing myself. I love hearing myself. I'm very vain and very conceited.
Yeah, it just, you couldn't ask for a better angle for a Vandal versus Operator battle than the one you get right there. And it still doesn't go your way for the Broncos. That's rough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, at that point, you just say, okay, either they're here or they're not. I have to pre-fire this.
Yeah, and that's kind of what goes into that for, I can't even remember who it was. Whoever on the Cal side who was holding that Operator. You jump and you take the shot and he gets it, but I mean, Blue Haze with this op is on fire.
There's another one. This is, though, uncharacteristic, but they're going to block each other. That's coming through. No, auditory keeps down. It's the stealth operator this time. And Boise State struggles to find themselves onto the point. They'll lose 2 members to even do so, and close to 3, as we see Calvin sneak through the smoke. He's only 5 HP.
Remaker trying to be sneaky. They see him through the glass. They'll actually take tip damage.
Okay.
Calvin underneath does get Blue Haze because they didn't know he was there.
Does that work that way?
They definitely know he's there now. Been hit with the vulnerable and only 5 HP. You couldn't be more close to death. You look at the heal off on the Reyna as she gets spray through the wall, picking up the final kill onto Calvin. So 7-3 as our score line going into this next round. Broncos looking rough.
Yeah, a lot of things that need to be adjusted, but still, again, they can clinch out maybe just a few more W's on this attacker side, switch to defense and say, hey, it's a defender map, remember? And they might be able to win this out and tie things up series-wise.
So I have a thought process coming out from the Broncos. After watching for quite a few rounds now, when the hit comes through, I'm not talking about pre-fight, but when the full team fight comes through, it feels like the Broncos are reacting rather than the ones being proactive. Exactly.
Yeah.
The kill comes first onto a Bronco, and then the Broncos trade it out, rather than vice versa. And that's never going to favor the attackers because they have the onus on making something happen.
Can't let that happen either.
So the Broncos, they're getting counter kills, not the opening kills, which means the defenders, that always will favor the defenders because they just want to have the last person alive.
They do have the roster to do so. I mean, 2 duelists is could be the main deciding factor of why they're able to be more proactive than reactive, right?
Yeah, and that's a good
then again,
start.
Breach is like the most proactive character in the game.
Unfortunately, he's been down a lot. If you pay attention to these rounds, he drops first because he's playing up high, and Cal just expect that going in.
Cosmic Divide with the 3 versus 3?
You want to
Hey,
find
I mean,
it.
you're higher ranked than I am.
They get it off.
Full corner, and we can clearly see that there's no one here to get here. In fact, they call Cal out on their big question mark as to where Boise State's playing, and
You 30 seconds
successfully guessed. Going over the wall, the ceiling. Attacker Killjoy will be here. Boise State has a foothold, but they need to be careful and watch their angles.
Honestly,
Please realize he had an opportunity to go for the shot, but if he stayed just a moment too long, he would have been detained, and that would have been just devastating.
Force back now, going to use the recon bolt, trying to get info. Only
Use the
one
Empress.
revealed, trying to get the reveal to spray through the, not quite going to get it. Empress caused, he's got both blind, squeeze, going to get the headshot onto J-Bag. Good time. Oh no, he's got the Empress, he knows where he is.
Oh my goodness, it all goes disastrous. Reyna's a very fun and balanced character.
That was, no, that had nothing to do with Reyna balance. That was clinical from Cal. They played that to a T perfectly.
You couldn't even see or shoot Reyna when she's intangible.
But that's the way she's designed. And
Last round in
I
the
mean,
half.
it's just unfortunate positioning from the Broncos. I honestly, when the attacker Killjoy comes down immediately post plant, I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah.
That's a free. You need to leave now. You can make them leave whenever you want.
Yeah, you need to use it to stall.
Use
Do it for the final
exactly.
seconds of the ticker.
Exactly. Use that more towards the end of the bomb's trigger. Using it at the beginning gained them nothing there.
It actually gave time for Cal to regroup and recalibrate their attack and their approach, and the recalibration was perfect. Another ultimate being used, but again, this is close to the swamp. You have to be able to use these resources and use them well. 2 ultimates, and the Omen ult could be huge. We see it squandered before in this side in this map, but see if it's gonna do the same thing. Cloudburst, the ball knows exactly how to dash into it, but cannot find the ledge legs. And Troy will find 2 of Boise State members, make it
Last
3,
player standing.
as it is a ace, actually, from Troy. My goodness. And he dropped the ult, too.
How do you like to end the half that way?
Switching
That's,
sides.
I would not enjoy that at all.
No, that's painful. That hurts.
A flawless ace? Rough.
That is rough. So we've switched sides. Broncos are the defenders now. We've seen the Broncos win most of their pistols. They seem to play very well on their
Seems
pistols.
to be the most winningest pistol team we've seen.
Whatever that gains you at the end of the day.
If that's a statistic you can take home and put on the fridge, then so be it.
Yeah, so with the defense on their side, pistols being their forte.
Maybe they shouldn't buy real guns.
just
Maybe
play
they should only
pistols.
play pistols.
I mean,
Don't do this in your solo queue game. You will be banned.
yeah, please don't do that. Please don't.
Unless you're playing against me, then always do that.
Yes.
Recon Dart will find something else. Can be the Owl Drone instead. Boise State finding again, the first falter will be Boise State's. Be an answer kill, but on defense it might be a little bit more manageable.
That's a little more manageable for the defenders. That's almost where you want
It's
to
like
be.
a pace stopper.
Yeah, exactly. So that's almost where you want to be as the defenders, and that style did not favor the Broncos on attack. But this is the world where things can work for them. They're on the defense. They have the pistols that they seem to be playing well with. And look, off of that one kill, Cal has no information about this B site, and that's going to force a rotate off of it because
it completely caused the brakes to be checked here from Cal's team.
because they have
But
no
again,
idea.
Their,
how
their
many-
car is 3 stacked right now, and it's going to be a dangerous one if they find one member of Boise State through the smoke. It's going to be it. They're going to find each other, but
Oh,
shots
no.
go everywhere but the targets. And Boise State will lose yet another, making it a 3-4. Making it 2-4. They are swarming this A site. Nice shots with the Sheriff. Can they get any more? Dreammaker finding nice planks, but is it going to be enough?
Not enough to get any kills off. The Sheriff can be deadly if you can get those headshots.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's crisp.
He was midair, by the way.
Gets one. Knows one's underneath just based on
They need to
positioning.
both peek this.
No, let's
Confidence
peek
will beget
alone.
confidence, and it
standing.
won't be successful. It's going to be 1 versus 2. They know
One
they're
enemy
They're going to go for the
remaining.
challenge with the Radiant Knight boxes. Oh my goodness! Dreammaker continuing to keep this thing alive. Boise State again with another pistol round win.
That is the third round so far in this game. Of Boise State's 4 round wins, that's the third one Dreammaker has carried
Clutched it
through
by
on his
himself,
own.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll admit, he baited his teammate Killjoy just a little bit. Having the Killjoy
For
drop right
information.
there and not dropping with him.
That midair shot was just straight nasty, though.
Yeah, but outside of that play, that's all Dreammaker coming up there.
All right, now we see Dreammaker on Dreammaker map with possibly Dreammaker gun in the Dreammaker position. Yes? No. Wait a minute. This isn't the same Dreammaker. This is a Guardian.
He
Where's
doesn't
the
have.
Ares?
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't have an LMG. Who is this? And what have you
Where's
done with
the Ares?
Dreammaker?
Where's my Odin?
9-4 on the board.
Is this a lineup? It is a lineup.
This is the lineup. Yeah. This
Wait
puts it
to
right.
strike.
This puts it right in the middle of mid, so that if there's a delayed mid push, you can see it coming. Which
Like that might
incidentally
be
is
it.
actually exactly where Cal is.
Mind games. Does not throw the recon dart, though.
They're holding for something. They're not ready to push up just
Has
yet.
Calvin used all util or has no util?
I don't know. We're not able to see from their.
Oh, there is util on the ground. Alarma bot, Nana swarms over there. Turret up there. Everything's been used already for Calvin. But again, this is why KJ's got a lot more utility and a lot more agency on this map.
This is
You
a
just
battle
dump
of.
it on one side.
This is a battle of
Oh, boy.
patience right here.
Oh, needs to get at least one, but he gets 2 instead! And a nice trade, a worthy one at that. Unfortunately, if you had the LMG there, would have went a little bit different. But Boise State coming up clutch, taking a big advantage here, 3 versus 2. And again, Omen is limping onto the site.
30
There is one
seconds
remaining
left.
at the logs. They don't know that he's there. The other is planting. Boise
Spike
State with
planted.
all the players in the world and plenty of time. They need to be careful about
Oh,
checking
yeah.
corners.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! That's what you're looking for. Oh no! Bufu with the run and gun on 35 health. Nobody watching. Where were the Broncos looking? I cannot
Were
believe
they
nobody's
watching the log play, like in admiration, or Bufu? You know, we talk about Dreammaker being the bastion of hope, the torch carrier, the torch bearer for Boise State, the one with the backpack. Bufu's got some backpack moments of their own.
That's one of them. Holy cow. catches all the Broncos looking in the wrong direction, and while running and gunning, picks up a 3K.
Which isn't supposed to happen anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
At that range, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
they were right on top of him, man.
The sniper.
Really
Here's the dash,
aggressive.
doesn't find anything, and here comes the paranoia. Smoke will be given out, and Boise State, despite having great foothold, the amount of smoke and just diversion from Cal will be huge enough to just completely sweep them off the point.
Yeah, so aggressive. Such oppressive use of util. They managed to just force Boise State off the point. They take it for themselves without dropping anybody. They just...
Okay.
Shelf gets lucky with a spray through the bottom there. Does manage to get Reyna. That will help. Util now has separated the 2 players that are playing back towards Wine.
Oh, you blinded your teammate!
He does get one underneath, and the 3 players remaining over by Wine are separated by some util. Dart comes through, gonna
Go for the
reveal.
full stick.
They know he's
Oh
sticking.
my goodness.
Boise State
But
get
it's okay,
it.
they got the half.
Throws the gun.
Automatically doing a bit better than their first map. 5 to 10, still, you know, still within arm's reach, maybe.
I honestly consider that to be a misplay from Cal. They had 3 players playing out beyond the flash that's in the choke point there.
Yeah.
I never like it when teams commit super heavily to a push from that position, because the choke point is the biggest defense that you have on this point.
Right.
And you give that up for free when all of your players are on the other side of the choke point. You need at least 1 player playing up front so that that choke point is not free space for whatever team is on, you know, the defending side of it.
Slow mid play. Catwalk as well. A lot of utility. KJ realizing this. Calvin putting a lot of that emphasis towards this pizza area.
Good util usage going to make this
Will buy
push
time.
stop. Yeah, that's it's what puts the brakes on this mid push. Forces Cal to
Calls
think
the door.
elsewhere. Yeah. Cal now going to rotate away. They've got a 4-stack heading over towards the garage, which is exactly where all the KJ utility is. So that's great for Boise State.
Comes the turret. Will be the first one to find alarm. Calvin waiting in spawn. I think this is the right call to watch this mid area. Market. Take care that no one can get through there. And Greenmaker with the snipe. Starts something beautiful for Boise State. They'll find one. And really chip down Reyna. And without those eliminations, she cannot heal back up yet. No healers on this map from either side. Dart will be taking down another mid play.
And that's beautiful play. Using that utility forces them back again.
Shells needs to win this 1v1 desperately, and they do so.
30 seconds left on the clock. Cal have no idea where they should head right now. Advantage all to Boise State right now. Not just in the man advantage, but they have no information about who's playing where. And now, with no time left, they have to pick a site and just run at it and hope it goes their way. This is Giga Brain thinking from the Broncos, and it's going to win them this round unless something goes terribly wrong.
State.
One enemy remaining.
Shot, and so there's going to be 1 enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
We've seen Bufu do crazy things so far. Can they continue to be their bastion of hope? Looks like it's going to be the case. The spike's been planted. It's a 1 versus 3. Bufu going to find the dash and predicts it, but will be taken out, and there goes the defuse. Boise State still alive in this series.
No, I was pretty confident that Boise State had that just based on the positioning of Cal.
So you can't tell me you were scared just now.
No, I really wasn't. I really wasn't. Honestly, because the Broncos had it. Watch where this play perfectly right now. Look at somebody from the Broncos is on site right now. So there's already a crossfire set up. Bufu was never going to live for very long.
What if he takes this? What if he takes that 1v1, wins this, and then turns it into another 1v1?
If he manages to, because he gets the sky inside the smoke. If he manages to get the player getting logs right there, then it's scary. But the Bronco should have. I honestly couldn't see because of the minimap, but the Bronco who was back around on site should have held that angle and kept it crossfire so that no matter which way he looks, he's dead. That would have been
coulda, woulda.
That's the prime play. So played correctly, Boise State has no fear there, and they do manage to pull it out. So well played to them.
Closing this gap, still 4 rounds behind, but definitely showing signs of life in this map too.
They have not. They've only dropped 1 round since the half switched over, so looking much better than they were.
Using the smoke and the absolute edge of it. Will be found out though and get rushed on. Your aggressive play on the Boise State side will be punished, and now across the board. You blinked and Boise State's roster is now on the ground taking a nap for the next minute.
The problem there was that
Spike
they gave
planted.
up positioning around tree. Ooh, good kill from Dreammaker, gets the headshot. When they lose position of tree, the aggressive positioning that should have been an advantage for Boise State becomes a hindrance because it means Cal is free to walk wherever they want all over the site.
They know where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, they probably already knew because of the kill that just came through, but now they definitely know. That's going to get shot down. Swing comes through, gets one. Okay, okay.
If he doesn't know about this crossfire opportunity, and there it goes. So close, though, in a 3 versus 1. Taking out these eliminations left and right could be huge. Boise State 2 rounds away from possibly walking away from an 0-2 loss, but can still turn this around. Boise State, as well as Cal, have plenty of funds to work with currently.
The problem right now for the Broncos is that they're in all the coordination positions that they have right now. The rounds they win are the rounds in which they hold Cal at bay. The rounds in which Cal are able to gain free space, they use that space to then put the rest of the Broncos out of position and take a side for free. So in that last round, for example, Tree is given up. That then means that Jabal goes down over here in this lane during main, and then A is given up for free. If they don't lose Tree, they keep that control for themselves. Look at it, it's going exactly like that. No space is given up for free, so Cal's pressure in A is denied. They have to go back now because they don't get that free pressure.
Boise State's also now putting themselves in a hyper-extensive place, as opposed to pushing down towards the orb there on A.
There's no free angles given up right now, so Cal are going to have to push into A Bronco. It doesn't matter who, it's just A Bronco, so they haven't gained anything for free just yet.
Check their angles.
Calvin, this is perfect, unless he sees it. Oh!
He wins it out. Oh, and the BM too.
He's salty about it.
No, it wasn't salty. He just sneezed and clicked. No way would you be salty.
But see, this round is going much later. Time given up, time wasted. Another
shot
kill
through the smoke.
Going perfectly for Calvin. This is Cal's weakness. When they aren't able to gain free space off of a Broncos misplay, they are much weaker in gaining
30
information
seconds
off of a
left.
default play.
The teleport to the side and the Lear to blind as well. Speaking of buying time, they're doing just that. Across the corner, around the way, will be the 2 members from Cal. They actually might get the plant off. He's got to get the guesswork
Spike
down. He
One
gets the
enemy
2-piece. He does not find a third one, but it is just Arena. Pops the ulti, confident in their ability 1v4. That is a tall order, and you did not get the right target there, Arena.
Reyna, they knew where she was based on the kill, heard the sound cue from the ultimate, and realized that all they had to do was lock down the garage entrance there, and that was an easy pickup for them. And that, I think the Broncos have finally keyed in, whether consciously or not, on what they need to do to keep Cal in check. It's a lack of zone control that gets Boise State into trouble. When they deny space from Cal and Cal have to earn it, they stumble because they're not good at taking space from the Broncos when the Broncos don't give it up for free.
Placing sentry.
Hey, everybody, take a little second real quick. Grab yourself some water. Hydrate. Do it.
Everybody out there watching this, you're probably more dehydrated than you should be. Get a drink of water.
Good, just go get a little sip
It's
or
good
a whole
for you.
glass.
It's all good for you.
Just go hydrate. Boise State keeping themselves thirsty and wanting. Cal so close to closing it up, but Boise State continuing to be the break tech. Much to the chagrin of Cal, they actually get the first elimination. Boise State being aggressive, feeling themselves a little bit, maybe too strongly.
See, now things are risky. Shells is here on his own. Means this is going to be difficult for him to hold the point all by himself. He's going to need backup.
This is a quad piece.
Yeah, backup is here. Ooh, perfect. The Rolling Thunder puts all the brakes on this push. Look at this. Once again, when Cal loses the momentum because they aren't able to gain free space, they're ground to a halt. They have no confidence about coming through this tilt right now, especially after they lose squeeze right there.
Knives are out. And it's possible for Boise State to still struggle here, but it's a 4 versus 4, and it's a good sign for them.
One still is remaining in wine. He's a little bit trapped, not knowing if anybody is watching the long angle or not. Without a smoke there, now that the smoke is down, it's actually unintentionally going to be helpful a little bit to get Bufu out of wine. Although he's not going to take it. He's still, it looks like Cal still have intentions of maybe keeping an eye on A here. They have one player pushed up through tree. They don't want to give all this space for free. See, Shells drops. because Bufu is not able to get out perfectly. Now Troy
Doors.
gonna back up
Spike
because they have
planted.
an idea that J-Bag may be playing right here with the
They
door
saw
down.
shots come through the smoke, 100%. Defender Killjoy ult will be popped. It's time to try and clear things out, but gives still that angle opportunity for Cal. Standing ahead. Whether or not Boise State realizes that they're all in that corner is going to be a different story. They use the Cosmic Divide as well. Can't hear these auditory cues.
They're gonna dare somebody to poke in through the
They
Cosmic
don't have a lot
Divide.
of time. Pros don't fake, and they're going to continue to push forward.
Oh!
Boise State will stick it. And that will be 8-11.
Last player
State.
standing. One enemy remaining.
When all is said and done, everyone dead except the Astra J-Bag for BSU. That positioning perfect as they actually managed to line up the kill in between both of the player coming in through tree and the one that had poked through the Cosmic Divide in main. Both taken down right here by Dreammaker
Speaking
because of the
crossfire.
lineup. Yeah. Boop, boop. Perfect.
Right there.
Perfectly done.
I don't know if you were able to see it, but in the moment there was a tiny tab button being pushed, and unfortunately for Cal, they opened up their wallets and flies came out. They're not looking too hot. I think they may have one gun in possession. All I saw was pistols before that.
That it does
Could be
put
Boise State's ability to maybe stick it to them with just sheer firepower, giving them a little bit of leniency. They don't have to try so hard.
9-11 definitely feels a lot better than the way they started this half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's completely contradictory to the way the first map went.
They've managed to bring it back in a big way here, and maybe just the map, maybe them finally cluing in on the weakness of Cal and starting to exploit it.
That's what I was saying.
Definitely going the way for the Broncos here, as once again this fast push that Cal like to capitalize on has been ground to a halt so far. The take comes through using that smoke. 2 kills quickly going away the Broncos. That's
One
first.
enemy
They don't know
remaining.
what's going on. Oh my goodness, almost pops off, but it doesn't matter. Gets the 3-piece, gets Boise State in that much closer of a position, and it's going to be 9-11 for Boise State moving forward.
When Shells gets that many and has backup, it doesn't matter that he goes down there. He's got a player playing up in heaven. That is all the win in the world for Boise State. That
Patience is so rewarded here from this side of this box.
absolutely.
Okay, you maybe got my guy, but I got 1, 2, actually 3. I can't close this one out. It's raining. Too busted.
Gets a headshot even, but just not damage not quite there because the classic.
Single M2, and that is a operator now. Boise State's feeling confident to spend the exchange.
Ooh,
So
very close.
But it doesn't matter. This is still a fantastic angle to hold this operator in just dominant fashion, continuing to nerf out that garage side for B. They're going to go tree room instead. Boise State going to sniff this out. J-Bag finding 1. Will be taken out in kind. On the backside, Cal will lose 2. Shell still holding this. Still gets this headshot.
Spike
Still finds
down
him.
A.
Going to be found out as well. The game sense is theirs.
enemy
But he
remaining.
continues to pop off. Maybe Dreammaker will be removed from the backpack carrying position as Shell has ample shoulder space for the role.
Shell's coming alive over on this B site, making it happen in a big way. I was a little scared for the Broncos after they lose tree control right there, but Shells holds down this generator angle like a pro and picks up 3 kills before he finally goes down. Actually, I don't think he fell. Oh, he did fall. That's right. He did fall
Right there.
Yeah.
Gosh
So
darn
well
it.
played. So well played. And now we're approaching tie game.
Oh boy. And then the best part of competitive Valorant, I'd say, the back and forth, but you have to win by 2 rule.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, truly the best. One of the greatest rules ever. Which can go on for forever, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
no, J-Bag! That is not the first time we've seen J-Bag with an easy angle and lost the duel in a 1v1. That is...
Can't let those mistakes happen, especially in this do-or-die round. Boise State will get cleaned up, though. Calvin finding 1.
Good equalizer.
Yeah, it's going to be an equalizer. Some damage being chipped as well using that Nanostorm and maybe a bullet or 2 into Jet. Shots across the way. Calvin trying to find something. More damage. Jet has HP. Nice shot, but a trade across the board. Boise State losing man after man. And now they are sprinting towards the B site, but can they get themselves in position in time?
They know where Shells is because of that aftershock.
Well, yeah, but now he's got Rolling Thunder to use in tow, right?
They've got another playing Garage, so almost like an extremely extended crossfire here. But actually, Cal going to expertly outmaneuver it, not going to go for either side. Oh, they changed their mind. I thought they were going to rotate back through mid. They are going to rotate through Pizza.
30
Ball
seconds
doesn't-
left.
Jabal's moved the wrong way, though. He thinks they might be coming backwards through
Yeah.
mid and has moved out of position.
Oh,
That's going to
boy.
give them a free plant here.
Here comes the sound. Here comes the
Spike
slam.
planted.
This is now a retake.
Operator's not the best retake gun in this situation.
No, it is not.
So, more concussion. Here
They do
comes
have
the
Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, they do have Rolling Thunder.
Comes
We'll
out
use
right
it.
now. Oh, no.
Press again.
Last player standing.
Classic versus 1 versus 3?
Oh, no.
But the detain is here! Oh, and it goes disastrous. Boise State suffered the pistol round themselves. I think that was a Bucky kill.
Match point.
It might
Oh, no,
have
it was
been.
a knife, I think, because
You
of
heard
the
it.
detain.
You heard it from announcer lady herself. This is match point. After a heroic comeback from the Broncos in the second half, they are now up against the wall and need to win 3 in a row. Or I guess 2 in a row to take us to overtime. So
Both teams really low on funds, too, so Boise State ends up winning this to get some extra change in their pockets, forcing Cal to fight with disadvantage for the next round. It's definitely doable. This is a very realistic possibility, but Boise State cannot be making these gunplay mistakes. They can't be making these rotation errors. Can't be walking into detainments and staying in them the whole time.
I'm not crazy about this. There's a lot of space given up for free in mid. We've talked about
Smart
this.
triggered. They
Pizza
find
taken.
information using the shot, the recon dart.
That's good. That keeps the space in their favor. They did lose it, but they get it back immediately because they get that kill. So space lost, but it was a kind of a strategic loss. They did it so
Look
they could
at
get
this
the pick.
Boise State double flank too.
Oh!
They get the shots on the long con. The alarm's been sound though, and now Cal is privy to at least one member being here. They lose the tree room access, and now Cal will flood this
down
A
mid.
site.
One
It's going to
enemy
be a
remaining.
1 versus 4.
Boise State with
Can
all the
Troy do
advantages.
this?
Troy in a 1v4, and he has no idea. Boise State are all around him. He has no safe angles because Boise State has surrounded him. Gets one in his
Okay.
isolated 1v1 over in Pizza. They know exactly where he is now. He has to rotate over to Spike. Broncos should have just kept eyes on that in the first place. Stun comes through, tagged up.
They charge him? No, they keep him distracted by play for time.
30 seconds
Spike will
left.
be picked up. Moving into the welcoming arms of the operator as Dreammaker continues to show some privy and prowess. 12-11, Boise State. One round away from tying this up and bringing us to overtime.
So close. The Broncos coming out absolutely heroically here. Just playing well. No-
Troy can buy a gun for a teammate. Maybe wants to save for the inevitable next round. Does actually have forward one over to a teammate as well. So this will be the scraps. Cal's looking through their couch for the quarters and nickels and dimes that they can. Boise State having a nice couple bills in their pocket. See whether or not that difference alone will be the difference maker. Boise State looks to stay alive. 12-11. Goal will be used prematurely. Here comes a nice rotation. Shell deflect. Good dodges the leer. 2 kills from Boise State.
One
That makes it
enemy
3.
remaining.
It's 4
Long.
versus 1. Boise State gets a flawless to tie it up. And now, the pivotal moment. Will momentum reign
Switching
supreme?
sides.
Does not matter. Doesn't
Overtime.
really matter because at this overtime situation, it's you get your set amount of money. Doesn't really influence anything.
I'm
you
so
go glass
scared.
cannon build.
Shell's right here terrified me. He was looking up trying to take out the recon bolt and just managed to get the flick to
That's a
save
great
his own
flick.
life. Yeah, combined with the other kills, that was a beautiful round to take us to overtime. The Broncos playing their hearts and minds out here in the second half. And now it's a 2-game lead. They're no longer, or sorry, a 2-round game. So nobody wins by 1. It's going to be 14 at minimum for somebody to take us to victory.
Say what you will about the Broncos. They've definitely made some adaptations between map 1 and map 2 as we're in overtime and we don't see this very often.
Oh, really nice to see the Broncos bringing it back, not throwing in the
Someone
towel.
did go glass cannon. I heard an operator.
Yes.
Either they don't have a lot of anything else.
You can buy utility only, no shields.
Glass cannon will be the name of the game. Boise State trying to keep themselves alive. We'll take out one. We'll find another one, but they will fall. Ufu will be punished, though, and that is a huge carry gone for the side of Cal.
It's a reactive kill, though. The Broncos still down by 1 after they lost one early. Dreammaker has gained some space here. I don't think Cal realized that he swung, timing in their favor. Shock Dart not going to hit anybody. They'll know he's here now. The rest of the Broncos should rotate over here. Try and
Jiggle
make a play
peek.
for A. Jiggle
I'll
peek
go
is
for
out.
some sort of jiggle peeking here, but Boise State, realizing that might be a little bit too risky for them, will take up the spike and maybe head elsewhere.
They've got time. They've got 45 seconds.
They've forced Cal to completely, almost completely abandon B site, as they do have that Sova there. Most likely with the, this wall doesn't matter gun.
That's true. Hadn't even
Or
considered
Guardian.
that.
30
Yeah,
seconds
Looks to be a
left.
Guardian.
They gotta go, and because they're positioning, it's gonna have to be B now. They don't have time to go wait for A. Try and rotate back over. Because of all the stars being thrown down, they know. Now everyone knows. There's no
Everyone's sprinting.
sprint comes across the board. Broncos have to take this space, and they have to take it now. They don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't
my
know.
goodness.
Squeeze
And
is
check
there.
the corner!
Spike
And Squeeze
down.
gets the two-piece, and Boise State will
No.
falter. You gotta check your angles.
That angle, one of the oldest
Switching
tricks in the
sides.
book is hiding places
Match
for B
point.
site. They don't check it, and Squeeze gets everything he wanted and more in order
Boise
to
State
close
in
that
the
one out.
familiar position. Match point, dangerously close. Cal closing in on it. It's within their grasp of Boise State. They're playing tug of war right now. They want to fight as much as they can, Squid Game or not.
Oh, Squid
I've
Game.
never seen Squid Games. It's just a reference I know.
This is
No
not the
squids
time.
in it.
This is not the time or place to be talking about Squid Game, my boy.
There's no squids in it.
I feel cheated and lied to you.
Right,
We're no
Boise
squids
State.
in Skid Game.
We've seen shells pop off in this exact position multiple times this map. Whether or not it continues to be something they can do, maybe Cal says, hey, this guy's literally here every time. We'll have to see. Boise State really playing it low, slow, and collaboratively. Do they have the opportunity to do so?
Little bit of space taken for free by Troy. Dreammaker not knowing because
They
he played
don't
back
know.
just a
Neither
little
saw
bit.
each other.
Throw now. He did hear the.
Oh, no! Dreammaker uncharacteristically loses the gunfight
He even
here.
heard the util coming out. Should have known he was there, but still lost the gunfight.
Retreat full at best. Boise State realizing that they need to kind of reconsider these opportunities. And Cal going with their favored five-man death ball comp. And Calvin get the kills that they need to keep things alive. Aladrome will find them. Recon bolt being implanted into their body. Get themselves into position to stay alive. Cross through the wall, but they don't find anything. Bufu will get this. Boise State in dire need of some eliminations. There goes one for Shells.
30 seconds
Go
left.
for it with the flash, but it
Spike
doesn't find
planted.
any just yet. And they're so dangerously close to being pinched around. They need to play all these angles as the best they can. It is a 3 versus 3. Shot through the wall.
They get one.
J-Bag will find one. It's a 2 versus 3 now, but the timer is not of their essence. Bufu will find when they know relatively where
Last
this Omen
player
is, but it's not enough.
One enemy
It's going to be a
remaining.
1 versus 1 to stay alive. Can Shells do it? Goes to the after drop, but he cannot do it. And
Attackers
unfortunately for Boise State, Cal will clutch up in overtime and take this 2-0 win.
So unfortunate. The Broncos so close to bringing it back after a heroic run down the second half. When it all comes down to a 1v1, just too good. Not quite going to be able to pick it up there for the Broncos. I'm so proud of the Broncos for the
Yeah.
effort they put in that second
Oh,
game,
yeah.
though. I mean,
Again, the difference between specifically game 1 and game 2, it's night and day, and that's exactly what we like to see. Well, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented players, production, and broadcast talent. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can earn scholarships as well. Sign up today by visiting boisestate.edu/esports for more information. I'm going to do it. I love it. And then the growth of this program has been indescribable.
Incredible.
Yeah. We see season to season, we see month to month, just immeasurable progress, and we even just saw living proof of it, map to map, the progress that Boise State can make here.
Absolutely. That game was so well played. And I think if you're the Broncos, you've got some film to watch. You've got some areas you see you need to improve on. But you also can go to bed tonight with your heads held high, knowing that you made a heck of a run back in that second game, and you almost brought it back. So all the props in the world to the Broncos.
Just
Shame
play
they weren't
more
able to
Yoru.
bring it back.
Yoru will be perfect.
It's not.
Everybody knows.
That's not the solution, Barrett.
You don't think so?
No.
We haven't tried it, so how would you know?
I guess
Thoughts?
there's some logic deep in there somewhere.
I like to hide it behind riddles and sarcasm. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to pick a player for Boise State to be kind of that torchbearer again, the one with the biggest backpack, it's a tough choice for me between two.
I know
So who would you pick?
I know the two you're thinking about because I'm sure they're the two I'm thinking about as well. Dreammaker with his multiple clutches, multiple rounds pulled out with some amazing play, but also Shells a beast in his own right, especially in the later
you
half.
pick one, I'll pick the other, and we'll split the difference.
We're just going to flip a coin on it. I pick Shells.
I will take the Dream Maker.
You win. You win.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2 on the week, baby. Let's go.
And
Guys,
this was one of his clutch plays. I loved this. I could geek out about the million things that Dreammaker does right in this play for hours, man.
I just wish he played like a duelist to capitalize on it, maybe. I don't know.
So many tiny things he does right that make that round come out in his favor. It's just chef's kiss. Mwah!
Well, regardless, the play of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Dreammaker is tonight's Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Whew. What a series. I mean, even though it was a 2-0, it didn't feel like it, especially in Map 2. I feel like it could have went either way.
Map 1 felt like a 2-0. Map 2 felt much more competitive.
Map 1 felt like a 2-0, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's something to look forward to. Again, if the adaptability for this team remains to be seen and remains to be defined and refined, then it's going to be a very interesting season for the rest of the year and hopefully into next semester as well.
I am very excited to see what the Broncos can come up with when they, review some of that gameplay, capitalize on some strengths, address some weaknesses. So much potential here out for the Broncos. Excited to see what they can bring.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think they can be very proud of how they played tonight. But they've got areas I think that they can watch that game and they know where to improve on.
Got to agree. And with that, we are going to end the stream for tonight. We're going to close out with the top 5 plays of the game, which are presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. Over 10 jobs and a $20,000 sign-on bonus and a degree of your choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard truly is the best team out there. Make sure to check them out on Twitch, iGuard Gaming, as I'm going to do it. From us here at the production desk, from the people back here enjoying the fantastic facility here, and for the Halloween season coming up here, y'all have a good night. Things out, but gives still that angle opportunity for Cal. Standing ahead. Whether or not Boise State realizes that they're all in that corner is going to be a different story. They use Cosmic Divide as well. Can't hear the outdoor cues.
They're going to dare somebody to poke in through the Cosmic
Divide.
Divide.
Time, pros don't fake, and they're going to continue to push forward. Boise State will stick it. And that will be 8-11. Slow or Boise State using up for the attack.
This positioning from Cal is much better. Although, as I said, it looks like they all start to fall back. Don't do it! Don't do this to me, boys! Right to the smoke, not going to get one, going to drop immediately. Whoever blinks first on this smoke is going to probably lose their life. Actually falling backwards. The spray is good from Shell. 2 more pitches.
Boise State can split this out. J-Bag finding 1. Will be taking on Kind. The backside, Cal will lose 2. Shell's still holding this, still gets his headshot, still finds him. He found out as well. The game sense is theirs, but he continues to pop off. Maybe Dreammaker will be removed from the backpack carrying position as Shell.
Negative space, lots of bad sight lines that Cal have to negotiate to even get to the spike, and once they do, there's double Molotovs planted there, so Boise State with a huge advantage as far as this goes. Good spray, gets a second, perfect. Only 2 players remaining here for Cal. They're not on spike, they've got to negotiate as well.
Through the smoke!
Just hold down time, making make sure Reyna does get one onto J-Bag. So now there's 2 players remaining here from Boise State. They get to equalizer. Bomb is going to go down. So it's a 2 versus 2. They have the makings to hold this. Oh, no.
1 enemy remaining.
4 HP and a dream.
And a dream.
Oh, my goodness, you're kidding me.
He gets the